Welcome to Sunday Afternoon Porch Sittin, where laid-back conversations come to life. I'm Will.
And I'm Ryan, and we're inviting you to join us as we unwind and explore the essence of life in each episode.
Well, here we go. First episode.
First one.
Always kind of nervous.
Well,
you know?
I was a little nervous too, Will.
Well, like you said, my name's Will.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is our podcast, our first episode.
Sunday Afternoon Porch Sittin.
That's the name of it.
SAPS.
It's so new that I couldn't remember the name of our podcast.
You know, it's an interesting venture. You know, I think it stemmed from some conversations that we've had in the past. I think getting to gigs, going to different places, and, you know, just kind of thought we would share our thoughts about random things.
A lot of riding in the car together, riding on a plane together, a subway together, just the conversations we had. And
Being in college together.
And
same field of work.
Same field of work for a while. Somebody got promoted. But
Join the dark side.
Yeah. Anyway, but this kind of our thing where we usually just have some phone conversations and we'll talk about all sorts of random stuff that usually ends up in us giggling and we can't hear what the other person is saying half the time.
It's usually you that start laughing.
It is not me that starts laughing. We all. But anyway, so there's no real out. What am I trying to say?
You're out?
No, I'm not out. We just started it.
Okay, sorry.
Return everything. Take it back. Do you still have the receipt? What? We don't really have an outline. We don't really want that kind of format. We're really just shooting off the cuff here and just seeing where our conversations go. So it could be entertainment. It could be politics, though a little lighthearted. Try not to get too much into that. Let's just move on from it already. We're done talking about politics.
What about sensitive subjects?
Well, what kind of sensitive subjects?
You know, they could be politically motivated or, you know, other things. So we might need to take a step back from those.
We'll have to take a step back from those.
Yeah,
we'll have to see what our listeners say, which I'm not really sure how they're going to get feedback to us.
We don't have an email address yet.
We don't even have an email address. I guess it'll probably be our friends listening to this first. So just text or call us and tell us.
Can I go ahead and share your cell phone number with them?
You would. Well, let's get this kicked off, Ryan. Listen, you and I have this story. It's a long story of us coming back from San Antonio.
Yeah.
And you remember
Which
this.
year?
It was 2019.
Was that the year of the cow?
No, it wasn't. It was 2020.
Year of the cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was December 2020.
Yeah.
Year of the cow. You're right.
And the mask.
And the masks. And we were on the road. We were on the interstate, and it was about 3:34 a.m. in the morning. We'd been driving. We weren't even driving. We were riding, and I was staying up with the driver to make sure they weren't falling asleep. And we got to our cars at like 3 a.m., something like that, and we're about 15 miles from my house, maybe?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. Well, we come up to a traffic jam. No.
Do we need to give like city names, or do we kind of need city names out?
Let's leave it out for now. I don't think it's important.
Okay.
We're passing some vans along the interstate, and
the ones with two loves or just regular vans?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had two loves too, and there was a huge traffic jam, and we were sitting still. I don't know. Would you say 45 minutes?
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest point of frustration on my end was, you know, it was one of those things where you had to make a decision to get off at the next exit, which Google had recommended. You know, Google Maps said, you know, we need
But
to
whoever
get
listens
around.
to that and then you pass it, and
you
you're
know,
like, I should have listened to that.
Sometimes, you got that voice in your mind that's like, yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning, so, there can't be a traffic jam on a major interstate,
It's not rush hour yet.
So, we get past that exit, and that's the point of no return because, there's not another exit for another, 6 miles, 7 miles?
I don't know if that far. It was a couple miles.
Yeah.
At least like 2 miles.
Yeah. So, that's when we, we're kind of navigating the traffic and, I don't know if there's any like good or bad way to put it. I mean, you just see mass carnage, on the interstate. Was what it started looking like.
Well, we were slowly moving along.
Yeah.
And right on the shoulder there was that big, what I thought was a huge trash bag, like a massive trash bag, like a 75-gallon or something.
But it was a Black Angus.
Yeah, it was a Black Angus. It was a cow dead on the side of the road. And oh my God, that's terrible. And then we go up a few more feet and there's one in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Right?
I had to drive around it. And it's reduced traffic down to one lane.
Yeah. And so we finally got up to the scene. We thought some cows got loose on the interstate, and that's basically kind of what happened. But they didn't get loose from a pasture. They were in a trailer. We didn't find out about what happened until like the next morning or something. We saw it on the news where this rancher or whatever, he had cattle in the back of his trailer, and the trailer caught fire, and he thought the best chance for the cows to live was to just let them go on the interstate.
Yeah, because I think the brakes had caught fire on the trailer.
Yeah.
This tractor trailer, this 18-wheeler, and I guess logically, minded people are like, hey, I want to save these animals, and their best chance of survival, is to.
It's 3 in the morning. Who's on the interstate at this time, right?
Well, and
a couple of 18-wheelers decided to play Frogger with those cows, and
well, they have that saying, it's like deer in the headlights. I mean, I guess we could say it's cows in the headlights now, It kind of just freeze.
Well, that's one way to tenderize beef. Well, so we found out, that's what happened. The trailer caught fire. The guy let the cows loose, and then they just got smacked, one by one on the interstate.
Yeah, but we're not talking about like 1 or 2. We're talking about probably 8 to 10 that we counted.
You think about how much money, not only that trailer, but he probably lost 20 grand of those cows, probably.
So my question is, like, we're in the country here, and so how many people do you think actually stopped and tried to salvage the beef that they saw on the side of the road?
Well, do you think that rancher was seeing it happen? Like, get on out, save yourself. Pow. And he's like, I can probably still take that to the butcher. Probably still get a couple of briskets out of that.
Maybe that wasn't a good idea.
Ground beef. All right. Well, I bring this up because I came across this news story and I saved this because I thought you and I would get a kick out of it.
Have you shared this with me before? Or is this
not.
Something new?
This is something new.
Okay.
I just saw this. This happened. What is today? Today is Saturday, January 27th.
Yeah. So that's 3 years ago.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that happened.
No, that was
2020.
Yeah, okay, 3.
Yeah. Because 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So this happened. Well, it might have happened yesterday. I don't know. It was today or yesterday, and it happened in Indiana. Where and I saved this. Now, here's something else I'll get into real quick to let our listeners know if you're new to knowing us. You may not find anything that we say or do is funny, and that's okay. We crack ourselves up, and sometimes one of us finds it funny and the other doesn't. And we just, anyway.
Well, you're right, but I think most of the time, most of the stuff is pretty funny. Now, some of the things that I was saying on the phone to you yesterday evening when we were discussing this, I don't feel like you were fully attentive. I think you were playing some video games, and there was some partial attention being paid. But
it might have been.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, here's the I can't hide this because as soon as I say it, you're going to be like, oh my God. Here we go. Camels and zebras spotted roaming alongside interstate after trailer catches fire. A group of circus animals, including camels and zebras, were spotted grazing on the side of Interstate 69 in Indiana after the trailer they were being hauled in caught fire. and there's a picture with the police officer standing with the camels and zebras on the side of the road. And, I'm just going to say, I know they're circus animals. I get it. But zebra meat and camel meat is a thing. Like, people actually eat that.
But not here.
Well, have you ever been to Twisted Root?
No.
They're not sponsoring this podcast yet. We're welcome to sponsors, by the way.
So Twisted Root, if you're out there and you're listening to this, if you would like
always
a little more
enjoyed your
recognition,
burgers and your pickles.
we can't give you an email address to reach out to us.
Can't give you my phone number yet either.
But I'll give you Will's phone number at the end of this episode.
But here's the kicker. No animals were injured, according to investigators.
So, my first question, can I bring this up? My first question that comes to mind is, did this happen during the day? Because I feel like if they had enough sense to be able to see all this speeding traffic, they could get off the road and graze in peace.
Yeah, but also the drivers could actually see them.
Yeah.
But do you think the guy that was driving that cattle trailer saw this story and was like, well, dang it, how did they get out without losing any of their thing,
This is why I got out of the industry. This is why I'm not a truck driver anymore.
And the other thing, too, you got these zebras and camels, right? And oh crap, the trailer's on fire, let us out, get out. And they're like, oh, there's some lovely grass over here. I'm just going to go eat some of this. Is that the sound that a zebra makes?
Well, I just thought that might be what they sounded like asking to get off the trailer. Like, I don't know. What's a frantic zebra sound like? Help me.
The trailer's on fire. Get out, get out, get out. Oh, my goodness. So
do you think they have baby monitors in the trailers and in the cabs of the truck so that the truck drivers can hear what the animals sound like in the trailer?
Hey, I got to piss. Pull over. Oh my goodness! I don't think they do.
They're really stirred up back there right now. What's going on?
Do you think do you remember? Now this kind of segueing into something else a little bit, but you remember what's it called? Zebra stripe gum.
Yeah, the different multicolored fruit gum.
They're not sponsoring us, and they can't sponsor us because they're discontinuing it. They're not doing that anymore.
But if they ever come back out and it's a thing, whoever does that, you can reach out to us at our email addresses.
Yeah,
we don't have it yet, but we'll send it to you.
You can get 10% off our gum. Our flavor will last 2% longer.
It only lasted 4 seconds anyway.
No, that's the joke about them. It never lasts that long. Do you think, I've never had zebra, but is it because zebra meat's just you're like, oh man, this tastes really good. Well, it did taste good.
So you think the taste actually dissipates like the gum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. I wonder if it does.
It does just because of the gum.
Do you want to try some zebra? No, I've had the gum. I'm good.
Well, there's two of us here, so I guess this is, can this be considered peer-reviewed research?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's zebra meat flavor dissipates after 2 seconds.
Is this actually what your thesis is on? Your
dissertation.
Your dissertation. That's the fancy word.
I passed the thesis. That was master's level.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not to that
I'm
level
offended
yet.
now.
No, my wife just texted me and said there are a couple of charges to the account on your card from today that I don't recognize.
Did you tell her we got the voicemail?
Yeah, I told her we got the voicemail. Sorry to leave you on.
It wasn't for zebra meat, was it?
It wasn't for zebra meat. So that's that. I saw that story and I thought, man, this would be a great opening topic.
Yeah.
For podcasts.
It is, because we've had a lot of different situations I think that have happened to us over the years that they'll make their way onto the podcast. I'm sure whether it be scooter rides or zebras and cows on the interstate dead. I'm sorry. Let's use. Do we need to use current terminology like kids would use? Like those cows were definitely unalived.
Unalived. Oh, yeah. Like how TikTok, they're like, I got to say this word.
Like your shoes aren't like original Hey Dudes, they're dupes.
These aren't even Hey Dudes.
That's what I'm saying, they're dupes.
They're not even dupes. These are Crocs.
but Crocs are like dupes of, Hey Dudes.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm guessing because I guess they're trying to get in the Hey Dude game.
I mean,
They're not doing a very good job.
I've had these longer than Hey Dudes have been popular.
Sorry, if there's anybody that's listening to us that is an employee of Crocs and you want to sponsor this podcast,
this hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually our podcast. We
send us an email.
we say the name of these companies, corporations, and say this is the last time we're saying your name unless you pay us.
Yeah. So we've hit the subject about the cows, that I felt like after that situation happened, because we didn't talk about what took place afterwards. Our buddy that we were driving with, that was driving the other vehicle, he ended up getting off the exit and getting around the slowdown and got home 30 to 45 minutes sooner than what we would have. And he only lives, 10 minutes from you? Maybe.
I don't know where he lives. No, actually, I don't.
Well, it's north of that town that's north of here.
Yeah.
So maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
North of me, yeah, but I didn't know. Yeah.
So anyway, that was an interesting trip. That trip was interesting as a whole, because didn't your hot water heater go out right before we went on that trip?
All right, we're not bringing this into this.
Anyway.
It did.
That was an interesting marching contest, though, that we worked that year.
Yeah. It
with the groups having to get on the field and take off their mask and then perform and then put their mask back on.
Yeah, was that the year also that the kid dislocated his chest?
Yes, the tuba player.
Yeah. That
was tough.
Man, that was crazy. Like, oh no, it happens all the time.
You just said, oh no. You're supposed to say it like the TikTok R&R.
R-N-R.
R&R.
R&R. Oh, man.
So, yeah, those are the kind of, lighthearted and easy conversations I think that we're going to try to have on this podcast a little bit. That was an interesting first story to bring up, Will. I enjoyed that. Reminiscing, looking back on the past, on those funny conversations, because we got done with marching contests that year. I think it was 11 p.m. in San Antonio, and had to drive 6 hours back home. And
we did.
That was the last 25 minutes of our drive that we experienced this mass carnage on the interstate.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 5.5 hour drive nonstop, probably.
Yeah.
And it was, it was probably, we probably sat there we were supposed to be home, I think around like 3:00. And I remember getting in at like 4:45.
Yeah, it was tough. Because you went to work at first thing the next
morning.
Yeah,
I was at work 7:32 that morning. Because I wasn't getting there at 7:30.
Did you take a nap at all?
No, not that afternoon. I waited until I got home.
Went to work?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I don't think I stayed after that day. I think I came straight home. But
why would you have to stay after work?
I meant to help kids practice.
Are you in education?
I am.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Kudos to you, man.
Thanks. You are too, though, aren't you?
Can't remember. Yeah, I'm in education too.
Yeah.
So, do you think we need to share a little bit about ourselves? Just kind of talk about who we are as individuals?
I mean, I don't think it would hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
I know we talked about we didn't want to go, too much into it.
Yeah. Well, why don't you go ahead and start with your social security number?
Okay. It's 555
55
33
55
16. No, yeah, so I'm a musician. That's where I met you, actually. We were in college together, college band. And we're in the same profession for a while in the music field, and I've been doing it for 14 years now. Wow, it goes by quick. 14 years, and anyway, I enjoy video gaming. Have a Twitch channel that they sponsor this podcast too. By the way, this is Taxi Gaming Co. on Twitch. You can look us up. We do all sorts of variety gaming and stuff. But yeah, I've actually gotten into a decent hobby now that is it's cooking. I know cooking's not a hobby, I know, but getting into some pizza making now that I enjoy to do on the side. In fact, we just had pizza before this. Maybe we'll do some
It was really
subjects
good.
on that. Yeah, it was
Tavern style?
Chicago tavern style.
Yeah.
I don't think I quite nailed it, but it was much better representation the first time I tried it.
I think the second pizza was probably better than the first one.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think both of them were good. I mean, for the first time that you're doing this.
Yeah. So tell us about a little about.
Well, I am not from, so, I guess we'll kind of tell a little bit about our location. I don't know if you can tell by our accents and our voices. We're, from the South, Texas, boys, if you will, East Texas. I grew up in East Tennessee and made my way to Texas and stuff like that. Will had mentioned that we were both in the music field. I guess, I started taking piano lessons when I was a kid, and, that kind of morphed and transitioned into playing trombone when I moved to Texas. Couldn't find a piano teacher out here, easily. Didn't have a piano at the house either, but anyway, needless to say, I'm not going to digress down that road right now, but anyway, yeah, I went to school in Tyler, Texas, East Texas community and stuff, and junior college band out here. It's a phenomenal band program, great opportunities, and I met some great people there, some great friends, and Will was one of those people, and I think we both, you stayed here and went to college for a couple of years, and then
Yep.
I went on down to Nacogdoches, down to Stephen F. Austin State University, and finished up my last 2 years there. So we both did a couple of years at junior college.
That's now the University of Texas, Stephen F. Austin State University.
It is.
UT,
So they're keeping all the colors of the vehicles and stuff. And, for those of you that don't know, there's a big debate that just took place here in East Texas for a lot of SFA people. The University of Texas bought out SFA, and so there's a lot of questions about, are we keeping our school colors? Is this going to be the University of Texas?
Well, there's a lot of tradition in that school.
I
don't, I didn't go there, but it's kind of a big deal in East Texas, especially in our profession.
Yeah.
A lot of people that went there. My wife graduated from there too.
Mm-hmm.
And Nacogdoches is the oldest town in Texas.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of history with their school, and so it's kind of and we're not talking like UT Tyler wasn't necessarily a large school or anything when they came into the Texas system, but SFA, they've been on the national spotlight before with especially their basketball team.
Yeah, yeah, they've started to grow into that, but it was originally a teacher's college, and so obviously, I guess you can put two and two together. We were both in education, so we were. I was a teacher. I'm not a teacher anymore, but that's the kind of the field that we were working together in. And SFA was known as a teacher's college initially, and then it just kind of grew from there. The education program there is still very reputable. And it's a very good education program. But, it's kind of weird seeing the police cars on campus now because they don't say Stephen F. Austin State University because they are actually certified or whatever you may under the University of Texas Police Department. So it actually says University of Texas.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Next time you're down there, take a look at it.
Yeah. Well, they've got a distillery on campus now, don't they?
I believe so. Not much about it. I had to stop drinking.
It's well, I'm sure that'll be another episode, another time on why that was in a response.
Yeah,
but I think occasionally, I think our plan is to bring some guests on this podcast, and I know one guest for sure that would know that answer about a little bit about the distillery.
Scare me trickling?
No.
Oh.
Schnick Smelly.
Yeah, he probably would. But anyway, enough about SFA. That's where we went to school at. And then After I got done with college, went and taught for several years as a music teacher here in East Texas. And, we say we were locally, in the field with each other, working together and stuff like that. Our music program, I would say in Texas is still it's pretty big and pretty connected. And so it's not, we compete with each other, but it's not one of those things where it's, I don't know, it's a competitive spirit, but we're not trying to belittle and put down other people and, all that kind of stuff. So the field of what we do is very, collegial, I guess you could say. I don't even know if that's a good word or whatever, but it's
Congealed.
Is
that what you meant to say? No,
I'm just trying to say it's like, it's a very collaborative. It'd be a good word too.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I think that that profession in general is very collaborative in nature.
It is.
I think you have to have a good network and all of that stuff to basically be in the field, because if you're kind of by yourself, then you're losing out on some maybe innovative things and stuff that could help you later on.
And I think you can grow together. So anyway, did that for a long time. I taught, I want to say, how many years did I teach? I started in 2010 and it's 2024 now. So I've been in the field for 14 years and I've been out of teaching for 5 years now? 4 years?
No, I haven't been that long. It was
2020.
Yeah, it was that same trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was that same trip.
So actually, funny thing.
You came back and you were no longer teaching. You were filling in.
Yeah, so I got a phone call that I got the job, that I would only be teaching band for 2 days when I got back.
Yeah.
So
had to tell your head director, oh, sorry, Christmas concert's on your own.
But thank goodness, we all work together, so that's a good environment. Sure. So anyway, other than that, career-wise, I like to travel, love to fish. Just recently picked up fly fishing and going on a fly fishing trip here in a couple of weeks. That'll be fun. We're going up to the Missouri River in Arkansas. A couple of coaches I work with, fly fish, so that'll be a fun trip.
You still have your boat?
Yeah, I still got it. I haven't been out on the boat in a while, man.
I don't know a lot of people with a boat.
Yeah.
But I do know people that have had a boat that they've had a boat and they get rid of it. A couple of years go by and they buy another boat and they get rid of that one because they're tired of keeping up with it. And they buy another one.
And I guarantee you they all talk about how they missed their first boat that they ever bought.
Shouldn't have got rid of that. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a COVID project, man. So when, COVID hit, we had to shut down school. It was a nice project to have. So love to do that. Love to travel. Drive charter buses, do all that stuff.
I wish I could have gone fishing with you on that boat.
Oh, wait, no. You interrupted my sad trombone. Oh, these people need to keep it under control.
Oh, calm down, folks.
Where did all these people come from?
I don't know.
I didn't know there was that many people in Tyler, Texas that would come and listen to a phone call conversation.
I do want to take this time, Ryan, to let our listeners know that some of us have invested a little more into this podcast than others.
Yeah, I think I spent $500 on the way over to your house today.
And I just had this microphone kind of laying around, and I can hear the quality.
Wait a minute, hold on.
The difference in quality here.
Can you?
So I need to.
You need to invest in at least one of these microphones.
I need to get one of those microphones.
It was not that expensive.
I should have told you to pick.
I think it was the weighted boom
Yeti
stand that was the most expensive part.
I can't believe you have. I'm holding on to it.
So to give you a picture of what you're looking at here, I've got on some headphones that I borrowed from Will for this first podcast, and I've got my weighted boom stand with this Shure. I don't know the model number of the microphone, but it's a good little microphone.
Like an MV7 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty cool. And then Will's over here with his pencil mic, and he's got one. If you guys have ever been to any old-timey church, you would have seen these, people that were singing with these colored what do you even call it? Noise reducers, foam sponge things on top of the
mics, right?
Yeah. But, I've got the regular headphones on. Well, can you talk to us about your headphones here? What are you trying to say?
What headphones?
You've got
the ones I have?
Yeah, gamer headphones.
I've got my gaming headphones on because you have my nicer headphones, which are Bluetooth, by the way.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, but you're hooked up. You can also wire them
wired,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because the first set of headphones I had, I think they're like Panasonic or something that I had for a while, but they got a short in them, so it kept cutting out like every random 2.5 seconds or something, and it was driving me nuts. So
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, this is this micro. You know what this microphone reminds me of? Some glad morning when this life is over.
I was thinking more of a Beulah Land.
It also feels like a 1980s sports broadcaster.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe too.
Turn off the lights. Party's over. Don Meredith on Monday Night Football or something.
I was thinking more Tanya Tucker, like Delta Dawn. Delta
Whatever. Okay.
What's that flower you've got on?
I know that I said, hey, you take the lead on this half, but I feel like we got to talk about what happened at the Grand Ole Opry.
I don't even know what happened.
You don't even know what happened. You don't scroll TikTok.
No,
enough,
the news
apparently.
story. We can talk about that. I mean, the news story I was looking at is about the, Brigham Young University fans having to take off their horns down shirts when they played Texas. But anyway, let's go ahead. I digress.
Which one do you want to?
Let's just go. Yeah, let's go with your topic here. The Grand Ole Opry.
It's kind of been over. I spend a fair amount of time on the Tiki Talkie.
Well, in the Grand Ole Opry, I mean, it's near and dear to me, man. I grew up in Tennessee.
Well, Dolly Parton just had her birthday.
Yes.
How old is she now?
She's close to. I want to say if she's not 80, she's getting close to 80.
I bet she's like, look it up real quick.
Because she's not too much younger than
I bet she's
my grandmother.
79.
I don't know. I'm going 80 something.
Actually, I think she now look like over 83 or something. Probably.
Yeah, but no, Dolly Parton's huge, man. I love Dolly Parton.
She's what?
Well, I was saying like a huge idol.
Yeah,
She's 78.
78. Oh, I was close. I said 79, I think.
Yeah.
Well, she had her birthday celebration at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard of this artist before.
Dolly Parton?
No, Dolly Parton I've heard of. Her name's Elle King.
Okay.
ELLE King. And I want to say I'd heard or seen somewhere that she's Rob Schneider's daughter. Anyway, apparently she's
okay, can you take a moment and just kind of remind me who Rob Schneider is?
You don't know who Rob Schneider is?
Not off the top of my head.
You're kidding me.
No.
Deuce Bigelow?
Oh, Mel Gigolo.
Yeah, I thought it was Gigolo.
I don't know.
Gigolo?
It's maybe
that sounds like a tech version of it or something. What?
Half a dozen, 1/6 the other. It's tomato, potato, potato.
It is. That's it's his daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
Rob Schneider's daughter, Elle King.
So she was singing.
So she was I guess one of the artists that were singing for Dolly Parton's birthday.
Yeah.
And she admittedly had a lot to drink backstage. I assume it's just drinks. And she got out there and she couldn't remember the words to the song that she was singing.
It wasn't "I Will Always Love You."
No, it wasn't that one. It was a little more upbeat than that. I think it's a Dolly Parton song.
9 to 5.
No, it wasn't 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Where to make a living.
Jolene.
No, it wasn't that one. Keep going. It's one of these. Something about
islands in the.
She didn't sing. She sang.
She sang that with Kenny Rogers.
Okay, I thought somebody else sang that.
Yeah.
No, it was some song about. If somebody's still listening to this podcast, they're probably screaming out what the title of this song is. It's something about.
If you know what the title of this song is, email us at.
We'll come up with the name later.
Address, yeah.
Insert email address here. It's God, what is that song? Anyway, she's butchering it. Okay, nowhere close to it. She starts. Like,
was it in my Tennessee mountain home?
It wasn't that one. It's something about marrying. Something about. Let's see. Let me look at her songs here. Codedominica, Touch Your Woman, My Tennessee Mountain Home. Hey, there's that one.
In my Tennessee.
You Come Again, Heartbreaker,
mountain.
Heartbreak Express, Rainbow Love, Something Special. Something about a... No, I don't see the name on here. Anyway, she was singing this song, and you couldn't understand her. The lyrics, she couldn't remember the lyrics, and she's just trying to make them up. And then she starts blabbering off, hey guys, I'm hammered, and F-bomb this, F-bomb that, and I don't. It's Dolly's birthday, y'all. I don't give a, and all this stuff, and just obscene. Anyway, they ended up like closing the curtain on her.
Well, I would have too. That's not a real classy thing to do.
And man, she's singing with this other girl, and the other girl's like trying to get her back on, and,
yeah.
But anyway, it was quite an ordeal, and it's a lot of people are saying, well, she's fake country because she's obviously like a Hollywood star's daughter. So what does she know about the way her accent is and all of that stuff? Anyway, it was a...
Well, fake country or not, you need... I don't know. I talk to the kids about this all the time, man. Like, read the room. You have to kind of know what kind of event you're at. And Dolly's just a classy lady, man. She's high class.
She is. And I felt bad for her when... do you know the Cowboy game, Thanksgiving Day game that they had? She did halftime.
Yeah.
For.
Well, she's got that new Rockstar album out.
No, I didn't. I don't keep up with it.
She's got 30 songs out. She just released, and it's all old rock songs like Purple Rain and it's pretty cool.
She did do a couple of those, I think.
That's why she did the Dallas game.
She's in front of this massive stage, and she's like on the side of it.
Yeah.
And she's like holding on to it, and people are like, "Oh, she's frail," and look at her; she can't hardly stand there in that cowboy cheerleader uniform. But what happened? It came out afterwards. She was supposed to be like the stage was a big star, and in the center of it, it like lifts up, right? And it's supposed to lift her up to the top. Well, they'd rehearsed it that way, and apparently, like it didn't work or something, so they had to put her in front of it, where she hadn't been used to, and there's all these wires and everything, and so she's trying not to trip on them. And you know what? She still, she did what a performer does. She performed and everything.
Yeah.
But I just felt bad. There's a bunch of people that were just kind of dogging her about it. And it's like, obviously, something didn't go the way it was supposed to.
So, here's the deal. Let's talk Dolly, man. Let's talk about how classy Dolly is. Have you ever been to Dollywood before?
Not.
Okay. Wonderful park. My family and I go there every time I go back in. We typically go once during the spring. We'll go to once during, the summer, and maybe hit it in the winter too. The Christmas lights and stuff like that, man, they're gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, it used to be Silver Dollar City, and then they, relabeled it and all that kind of stuff, and then turned it into Dollywood. But anyway, there was a massive fire that took place several years ago in Gatlinburg. It like leveled a bunch of different cabins. Do you remember hearing about that?
Yeah,
homes and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty bad. They've come back from it now, which has been fantastic. But, Dolly gave each, I can't remember the amount of money, but she committed to giving every family a set amount of money just to kind of help them get through that time and get back on their feet, to recover from that. So she's always been a big advocate of those things. And, I want to say that, Appalachia has always been kind of a little bit seen as a probably lower, potential lower income, lower education level, type of area too. And she's done a lot of literacy programs and, programs for kids to get books and to read and stuff. So Dolly's been an icon and a legend in that area, and was highly loved and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. Going back to old Elle King or Elle King or Elle King, right? Yeah, Elle King,
Yeah, Elle King.
It just wasn't a very classy thing, I don't think. I've heard of.
Well, and she was saying, she's effing hammered, and she was saying, you're too bad. You ain't getting your money back. Too bad.
Well, I put Dolly Parton on probably making pushing the movement for kindness and
Finally
being
got
nice.
the song.
She's on the same level as Mr. Rogers, man. To me.
I hadn't thought about that. I'd probably put her up there too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Marry Me was the song.
Marry Me. Yeah.
She's gonna marry me. She's gonna marry me, or something like that. That's about how she sounded. I'm not exaggerating. But that was about the only part of the song you could understand.
Yeah. Why would you get that hammered before a performance of that size?
I don't nerves. Maybe I don't. Here's the thing: how long until we see that she's entered rehab?
I don't know. But my thing is it's just what, and I'm not judging her by any means. I'm a no judgment person. But what causes a person to do something that big in that moment?
Yeah.
But what do you think? What do you think about that? I mean, what do you like Dolly? Are you a fan of Dolly?
No, I agree. I think that she's one of those people that's like a saint of our generation. Bob Ross.
Oh, I love some Bob Ross, man.
LeVar Burton. Is that LeVar or Lamar? I think it's LeVar.
It might be. I don't
Burton,
know.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
God, I've watched so much of that show as a kid. Like, look forward to him and.
Butterflies in the sky.
I can go really high.
Take a look.
It's in a book.
It's Reading Rainbow.
Was he always the host of that show?
Can do anything.
Oh, I hate this when you start going off and you're not listening
but
to
yeah,
me.
No. I don't know. Is he still living? I don't know if he's still living or not, Will.
No, it's not what I asked. He's still alive. Oh, Lord.
No, he's always been the host of that show, I think. I don't ever know if there was another one.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers.
God, man. Okay, let's take a minute to talk about Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
I just got done reading the most recent book is basically a memoir biography about him. Dude, I love that man. He's a saint.
Yeah.
I single-handedly helped create and mold multiple generations of our society. Now, I think we've taken a step back away from him in the most recent future because I think there's still a lot of good, but I think there's a lot of maybe hate and divisiveness. But dude, we all need to have
I'm not dogging on kids these days or anything. But I do wonder. Those shows taught us so much more than just be a good person. Obviously, you can't say it worked for everybody, but
I can think of a few.
But that shows like that also taught you like how to cope with life and stuff. And I think a lot of kids nowadays, their issue is they don't know how to cope.
You're right.
With things.
But have you noticed they just can't figure it out either, man? It's like
too.
You have to lead them by the hand and show them everything that you got to do.
Okay.
I need to do.
All right. Well,
Are you an educator?
On this. I'm an educator. I'm a drummer. All right. I didn't
I
have
was a trombone player.
I knew that was coming. We should have left the rim shot in there.
Sorry. Actually, that was me circa 2006. So I was recording.
So I didn't have a percussion instructor
in
my school. And most of what we learned was what we taught ourselves, But some of these kids can't figure out how to put a stand together. Like, Mr. Ross, or I don't know how to.
Did you say Mr. Ross?
Yeah, I did. These kids, they say, I don't know how to put this together. And I'm like, figure it out. That's what I had to do. But back to the, Mr. Rogers thing, stuff like that. There's not really anything like that nowadays. I mean, you've got Bluey. It's not quite the same. Do you remember?
Maybe that's why they're never mind. I won't go there. We'll just leave it at Bluey.
Well, here's something that blew my mind. Okay, and this
Don't
is
get
how
too political.
I'm not. It's not political at all.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Bluey was a girl.
What?
I thought Bluey this whole time was a boy.
Jeez Louise.
Because
blue's kind of a color that's associated with
it is
masculinity.
It is. I don't know
why.
I'm
blue.
Right.
I guess
Dabba dee dabba die.
That needs to be a podcast episode too, where we talk about what they're really saying. What are the real lyrics in that song?
And Numa Numa. Anyway, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah, and just not having anything like that nowadays. It made me think of. Do you remember? I can't remember her name because I'm terrible with names. But do you remember the puppet lady that had Lamb Chops and Lamb Chop and Hush Puppy and what was her name? Shirley something.
I'd have to look.
That. I keep thinking Laverne and Shirley. That's not it. Shirley Temple. It's not that. But anyway, it just feels like we had a handful, not handful, but like a bunch of like those types of shows that we grew up with as little kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, it came across PBS, the public broadcast system, which, you know, Fred Rogers. Is it Fred Rogers? I don't know his first name. Mr.
Betty Aberlin.
No, what's her
name?
character? What was the character's name?
I can't remember.
Because she had there was
a Lady Aberlin.
Yeah, but there was something else. Like she went by something else.
Lady Elaine.
Shirley Lewis or something. No, it's Jerry Lewis. Hey, lady.
I'll have to look and see.
But anyway, you know, Mr. Rogers did so much fighting for public broadcast system.
He did. But, you know, the funding, like in that last book that I read, the funding just wasn't present. And the funding that he was operating off of, man, it was hardly anything. Nothing compared to what you would see today. And, you know, if I remember correctly, I think there was something about, you know, a similar show to his show on CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting.
Sherry Lewis, yes. Sherry. I was close when I said Sherry Lewis.
Shirley.
Sherry. S-H-A-I. I can't talk right now. S-H-A-R-I.
Man.
L-E-W-I-S.
Yeah, and he was also very passive too about, you know, some very political topics and stuff like that, and helping kids feel safe, and helping parents to have safe conversations with kids about things that were very traumatizing.
Yeah,
you know.
When did he start that show?
Oh man, I want to say it was late '60s, maybe, because it started. I was
going to ask if it was early '60s or late '60s, because there was something. You know, I remember watching the documentary on him, which, by the way, I love documentaries.
Oh, my gosh. Did you watch the most recent movie, too?
With Tom Hanks?
Uh-huh.
No, but I got a story about that. It has to do with Netflix.
Yeah, 1968, February 19th.
Okay, well, there was something happened. Maybe it was with Robert Kennedy, but there was some kind of assassination or something that he had to come on the show. And no, it was the Challenger. Explosion.
Yeah.
In 85.
Yeah.
Where they're like, you know, hey, do we want to? And he's like, no, we need to talk to the kids. We need to teach them how to deal with this. And, no, the movie with Tom Hanks, right? The one where he portrays Mr. Rogers. I used to have Netflix DVDs, and
before Redbox, or after Redbox.
No, kind of during. All the way until probably less than a year ago, I finally got rid of it. Well, that movie, I've had that movie since probably 2019 or 2020, the DVD. Never watched it. But I have that Netflix DVD. I've paid a monthly membership for DVDs to hold on to that thing for 3.5 years.
And you've never watched it?
I still haven't watched it. It is still in my car because I canceled the DVD subscription and they said, you got 14 days to return this. I said, okay, I'll put it in my car so I can remember to do it. And I forgot to do it, and it's past the 14 days, and so I own it now because they charged me for it. But I, you know, save money on my bill.
That's
by
awesome.
switching to just streaming service.
Yeah.
I saved 15% or more.
So streaming services, you know, I don't want to get off this Mr. Rogers topic, you know, stuff
That's
like
a
that.
good topic.
It is, you know.
By the way, as we're talking about this, we need to be coming up with a title of this episode.
Yeah. You know,
Mr. Rogers cows.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers. How to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, we talked about at the beginning of this. Yeah, figure it out, you know. Open the doors to the trailer. Let the cows out, you know. But Mr. Rogers always said, too, you know, if you want to find good people, find the helpers, you know. I think that's a pretty big thing, too, you know. I tell my kids that a lot. If you want to find good people and you want to surround yourself with good people, find the helpers.
Yeah.
Find people that help.
You know, I don't want this to, you know, I'm not intending for this podcast to turn into a self-help book or, you know, a counseling session for those that need it or whatever. But I've always been the type where, you know, I'd love to have a platform or soapbox to try to help people, you know.
Yeah.
Through using, I think talents, like something I didn't say when I did intro on myself, I do some acting.
Yeah.
My wife has been into theater many years.
Now, wasn't she an educator?
Yeah, she's theater
She still is,
educator
right?
for a while.
Yeah.
She kind of is. She works at a local theater company here. She does she's business office manager, and she also teaches a couple of conservatory classes. But anyway, I would just like to, I don't know. I don't want to say I want to be the next Mr. Rogers, but I do kind of feel like, especially in education, there's more than just, especially in my field, there's more than just, teaching the kids music. It's also helping them through life and, teaching them lessons.
They need to learn how to be human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big, big, big thing.
I don't mean to speak bad on education, but I really think we got it backwards in our society when we really push towards the 8 to 5 with school, when it's, do we really need it? Could we go less time and still get the same stuff accomplished? Do we need to do 50 math problems when 20 shows that we know how to do it?
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot to that.
There is.
There's a lot to that.
Sounds like another.
And there's a lot of personalities and choices, and there's a lot of feelings and things like that towards that as well. I'm a relationship person. I really invest in those things, and I think that's why I have a strong affinity maybe for Mr. Rogers and what he was trying to accomplish. Maybe that's why I've got such an affinity towards Dolly Parton, And I think you're similar in that aspect too. But I don't know.
Didn't she fund a lot of money or donate a lot of money to help for the research of the COVID vaccine? Or one of them?
I don't know.
I thought she had a hand.
She might have. I don't know.
Like, I think she Bill Gates to one of them.
Bill Gates. Didn't Bill Gates all of them?
You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to call that. You put a lot of money towards something you Bill Gates did. Put in that 5G at Dollywood.
Yeah, looking back at it, she did help fund, I think, the Moderna vaccine.
Yeah.
Is what it was. So,
yeah.
Well, that's what the fact checked is. Let me see if the fact checked is correct. Oh, wait. What's to purchase the flash sale. Did you know that when they pop up and ask you to subscribe to finish reading the stories, you can just click show reader and it'll show you the entire thing?
Oh, yeah. That's a life hack.
So, it's a very nice thing.
I discovered that probably a couple of months ago. And the amount of articles that I wanted to read that I thought, are you kidding me? You're going to charge me to read about something that you should be. I'm not saying that all news stories need to be free, and I know they need their money. I get it. But they already have advertisements and everything on there.
Yeah.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
I'm not going to lie. That was kind of annoying me after about 8 seconds.
It's that same theme over and over. Too many cooks. Too many. It's in an old Adult Swim clip that's like probably 10, 12 minutes long, something like that.
I think it's longer than that.
To let our viewers know so they don't have to watch it or anything. It's don't play it.
I'm trying to find it.
You have to hook it up so that you can go through the system instead of through the mic.
You've got the newest iPhone that doesn't have the lightning cable.
Oh, you don't have one?
I don't have the lightning cable.
I thought you got a new one. I thought it was just an iPad?
Yeah, I just got a new iPad. And I like my new iPad. Did you ever get yours?
No, I didn't yet.
Here it is.
That's not it at all.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
That's not. I don't know what that was.
It's got the video, but it's a different song.
You have to look it up on YouTube because it's not. Here. That's it. Too many cooks. And the whole time this is going on, it's a 90s family sitcom thing like Family Matters or.
Yeah, but it doesn't
House.
stop.
No, it keeps going. Well, I mean, it does.
I mean, it progressively gets worse, more aggressive.
Funnier thing where this murder starts happening in there. And
it's like All in the Family and like what was that game? Was it Clue, where somebody's murdering somebody and you have to figure out who's murdering people? That's Clue, wasn't it?
Yeah, where you have to figure out who the murderer was,
Yeah.
what the weapon was,
And that's kind of what this
where
is. It's like
but they don't keep murdering. There's just one murder.
yeah, but I know, but it's kind of going down that path, you know? What's
Yeah.
your favorite board game?
Oof. I don't know. That's a good question. I hadn't thought about that. If I was going to play, if you were like, hey, let's play a board game right now, go pick out a board game. I'm not picking Monopoly.
It's too long.
It's too long. It's not the fact that it pisses everybody off when they lose.
Yeah.
Or when they, whatever. It's also rigged.
Yeah.
If you get Park Place or Boardwalk, everybody else just forget it.
Well, that can be the case, but, I'll tell you what I used to do. You could buy Monopoly money on Amazon. And so I would put Monopoly money like in my pocket. And so I would find some sneaky way to get that Monopoly money out.
Of course you would.
And, when you've got an unlimited, account of Monopoly money, you can go pretty far.
Yeah. You know what? You say pick your favorite board game. And I probably would pick Monopoly.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Sorry.
I was going to say Sorry, but it's so simple.
I like Candyland too back in the day. That was
that's kind of
the shit
too.
growing up. The crap.
Well, gonna have to edit that one out. I don't know. I'd probably say Monopoly. I mean, there are other games that I don't really consider board games. I don't know if they're my favorite. I enjoy playing them.
Yeah.
There's some that I haven't played that I'd like to.
Yeah.
Like Ticket to Ride.
Never played that.
I think it's Ticket to Ride. Is that the name of it?
I don't know. Never played it.
Yeah.
We just played one recently that my sister had showed me about. It was a color, like you have different hues and different colors and all that kind of stuff. And you can basically get on there and you've got a square that is 4 blocks or whatever. And you have to put this, you get a card and it's got 4 colors on the card and you have to pick one of those colors. And you can't use names of colors on these cards. So say one is like, you know how you've got like University of Texas orange, University of Tennessee orange. If it's University of Tennessee orange, you could say University of Tennessee, okay? Or you could say something like hunter safety, something like that. But you can't say bright orange.
So you can't say...
Or burnt orange.
So it's kind of like...
Chartreuse.
Taboo.
Or any of those other things. Yeah, so... Anyway.
I forgot about this game too. Life.
Yeah.
You remember Life?
I love Life.
I was going to say, I like Life. That's a fun one.
Yeah. I feel like this podcast is kind of all about life as well.
It is. The nuances, and I don't even know if what we say in our intro is actually what this episode is or what.
Been about.
Yeah.
It's kind of been about life.
Yeah, it has in general. It really.
We talked about Mr. Rogers.
It's kind of our life.
Yeah.
Our life.
But it can be your life too.
Yeah.
To our listeners.
If you want. You just have to donate now.
Donate now? Well, you don't have to donate. I mean, we work for free. But we're an education. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. The state of Texas is doing a great job of funding us. So if you have any ideas about things that we could talk about on our podcast, we'd love to hear it because, what's our email address?
Well, here's the problem. I have some ideas of what our email address should be.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually seen if they're available. So I don't want to be
we
like...
can't throw it out there just yet.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, contact us at insert name here at gmail.com. And it's already taken.
Well, you can text Will at 903.
Stop with the area codes. Text us at
903. If you haven't seen those TikToks, they're great.
Tell us about it. Just kidding.
You dirty.
I knew you were going to say it. I was about to say it too. They're marigolds.
Look what you've done to my peony.
They're marigolds.
Oh my God. She's right.
This is what we do. I may not know my flowers, but I know when I see one.
A what?
Oh my goodness.
Well, I guess we're getting back to the end of this episode here.
You know what? I have a lot of fun with this first episode.
Yeah.
I feel like it went a lot better than I thought it would.
I was a little nervous about the interactions and how that was going to go because I wasn't sure about us talking to each other in the microphones instead of like real life.
You're right.
It feels a little more rehearsed.
There's been a lot of times where...
But it's not rehearsed.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
We don't have any scripts whatsoever in front of us or anything.
I feel like, though, in normal life, too, I kind of interrupt you a lot, and I've kind of held that back a little bit.
Well, that's what I was worried about. I think I told you, like, we're going to talk over each other the whole time.
But it's been good, I think.
Yeah, I think it has been, too.
Well, I think that was a fun show. I really enjoyed that, Will.
Yeah, I did, too.
It was great. As the sun sets on another Sunday afternoon porch sitting, we appreciate you sharing this laid-back journey with us.
Yeah, until next time, stay relaxed and enjoy the simple moments.